Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to this workshop. And well done for taking this time for you. I'm going to be taking you through a process of awareness of our beliefs to creating new beliefs. I'm Alison. I'm a Heal Your Life workshop leader and life coach based on the philosophy and teachings of Louise Hay. And for those of you who have not heard of Louise Hay, she is the author of the book You Can Heal Your Life, this is one of the copies here, sold over 50 million copies worldwide. She was one of the pioneers in the self-help movement and the mind-body connection before it became like more mainstream and more accepted as it is today. Lots of people are talking about how your beliefs create your experience, your thoughts and your beliefs create your experience. And so she was at the start of that many decades ago. She's also affectionately known as the Queen of Affirmations. So we'll be getting on to some of that a bit later on. But firstly, like I say, I'm Alison. Thank you all for being here. And for those of you who don't know me, I am a licensed Heal Your Life workshop leader and life coach, which means I have been trained and certified to share Louise Hay's philosophy in a workshop environment, online, and in groups and one-to-one coaching as well. It's really transformational work. Some people can say, oh, affirmations don't work, which is actually an affirmation in itself. But when you know how to use affirmations and you use them and you feel you feel into what you're saying and how they feel in your body, and you use them consistently, so consistency and momentum are key with these affirmations, then you will find that you will make change in your life. I trained as a Heal Your Life workshop leader and life coach 7 years ago, but I've been following Louise Hay and learning about her philosophy for the last 20 plus years. It was only when I found out I could train to become a Heal Your Life teacher that I was like, wow, this is like my dream job. So I'm really passionate about this work. I love working with people to help them make positive change in their life. It's not just as simple as making one affirmation and expecting your whole life to change. It becomes a way of life, and but it's really worth it, right? It takes effort on your part, our parts, but it's worth it. So Louise Hay wasn't the only person to say it's only a thought and a thought can be changed. We've got Henry Ford, who said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So if you think you can do something or you think you can't do something, you're right either way, because our thoughts create our life experience. And Wayne Dyer said, change your thoughts, change your life. And he also said, you can't always control what goes on outside, but you can control what goes on inside. And I think that's really important. One of the reasons why I put these workshops together, because there's a lot going on outside. There always is, always has been. But if we can work with what goes on inside and have some control over that, then that's a really powerful place to be. And that's what I recognise now in my daily life. So, who knows what an affirmation is? Well, an affirmation is really anything you say or think. So a lot of what we think is quite negative, but it becomes a bit of a habit. Like we don't really know that we're saying it or thinking it, but it just becomes a bit of a habit. So we have to retrain our thinking and speaking into positive patterns. And you probably know now, if somebody speaks negatively to you, you may sense that doesn't make you feel good. And if you speak negatively, it doesn't make you feel good. So that's the outwardly speaking, but what goes on behind in our thinking is also really powerful. So even when we're not speaking, what are those thoughts that we are thinking that are not making us feel good? So we have to retrain our thinking and speaking if we want to change what we see in our lives. If we think negatively, we're going to see a negative view of the world. If we think positively, we will see positive experiences around us. And I can say that from my own experience. So today our goal is to make very clear positive statements about what we do want to experience in our world, and that will be with affirmations towards the end. So you may know as well, on average we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are negative and 95% of them were exactly the same repetitive thoughts as the day before. So in order to change that, we need to become aware of our thoughts. If we're not aware of our thoughts, then we can't make change. So that's what I do when I work with people, is bring awareness to their thinking and speaking. We need to notice how those thoughts and what we're saying make us feel, and also what emotions come up within us, arise within us, and any sensations in our body. This creates our experience. So if we're having negative thoughts and we are feeling angry, frustrated, resentful, then we're going to act from that place. We're going to literally react from that place. We're going to take action from that place. But if we're having positive thoughts and we're having a positive experience and we are having good feelings, the good feelings are being created from those thoughts, then we will have a positive experience. We will take action from that feeling good place, from that place of maybe peace, love, joy. We'll take action from that place. So when we become aware of our thoughts, this isn't a time to judge ourselves for that, but to be grateful for the awareness, because until now, or until whenever time that awareness comes up, we didn't even know it existed. So awareness is great, but it's not an opportunity to beat ourselves up about it and go, oh, here I go again, I've got another negative thought. It's the awareness. We're aware of it. And so many people can go through life not being aware of their negative thoughts. And a belief is just a thought we keep on thinking. So we'll start looking at and inquiring into our beliefs and what we do actually believe about ourselves and life, and bring awareness to that. Okay, so now in order to bring awareness to that, I'm going to take you through a guided visualization, which will help us identify some of those thoughts, some of those beliefs we might be having. So have your journals and pens nearby. If you've done this exercise with me before, you'll still find it useful. I do this with my Heal Your Life community of other teachers around the world on a regular basis, and something different always comes up. So firstly, I'd like to invite you to make yourselves comfortable and take a couple of deep breaths. I like to breathe in for 3, hold for 4, and breathe out for 5. But whatever your breathing practice, if you have one, if you do that, just be aware of your breath. And I'm just going to breathe in for 3, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out for 5. And just do that a couple more times. And what we're doing is we're just grounding ourselves in the moment, being present. Breathe in for 3, hold for 4, and breathe out for 5. Feel free to close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and just direct your attention inwards at the moment, focusing on your heart space. So you don't need to do anything at the moment. This is your time to really just immerse yourself in this moment. You don't have to take any notes. There's nowhere else you need to be at the moment, nothing else you need to do. This is your time. And just imagine a wave of relaxation flow through your body from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Identifying any blockages, breathing into them, and noticing them melt away like ice on a hot road. If you haven't done so already, this may be the time you wish to close your eyes. Imagine that you're at home waking up on a typical day. When you first wake up, what are your usual thoughts? Are you grateful to be alive and excited about your day? Are you neutral? Or are you dreading getting up? Are your thoughts limiting in some way? Now become aware of your thoughts as you get ready for your day. Either work or other activities. What are you thinking? As you're getting dressed and see yourself in the mirror, how do you react? Just notice your thoughts. As you go about your day, your commute to work or logging on as a home user or any daily activities that you have planned, what kinds of thoughts do you have? How do you react as you see your co-workers, your boss, or anyone else you come into contact with throughout the day? Are you judging them? Or do you know they're doing the best they can? And when you go to lunch, are you worried about the calories, or do you feel good about choosing healthy food? Become aware of your typical thoughts as you continue through your day and go home or on to other evening activities. What are your usual last thoughts as you prepare for bed and go to sleep? As you think back over the day, perhaps you are aware of the places where you could change your thoughts. Tell yourself right now, I approve of myself and I easily choose the thoughts that nourish me. Imagine looking in the mirror and saying, I accept you just the way you are. Now take a few deep breaths, have a stretch, and gently bring your awareness back into your body and into the here and now. And when you feel ready, gently blink open your eyes. Okay. I'd just like you to grab your notebooks and pen and just write down what came up for you. It doesn't have to be in any sort of format, just write what came up for you, what you noticed. Notice if you had lots of negative thoughts, any light bulb moments. You may even be able to identify straight away a thought process or a limiting belief that you can change straight away. I'll just give you a few minutes to write down what's come. Okay. If anybody feels like they want to share what came up for them, then feel free to pop any comments in the chat. If our thoughts create our future, Are those the ones we want to have? When I first did this exercise, I noticed I was very critical of myself throughout the day. I would spend most of the morning affirming that there was never enough hours in the day, I had so much to do, and I was immediately starting my day off in sort of panic mode, a very stressful state and mindset to have. At my lowest point, I thought when I woke up, how am I going to get through today? And none of those thoughts were really serving me at all. And it was only until I became aware of that I could then do something about it. I realised I was feeling stress, but I didn't really know what the thoughts were that I was thinking. And when I found those thoughts that I was thinking, I could do something about it. So please feel free to share in the chat if there's just anything that's come up for you and you'd like to share with anybody on the call here. So when I was waking up in that state, I'd be always acting and taking action from a fearful state. So I would always be rushing and thinking there's not enough time and, making rush decisions, if you like. I was constantly reacting rather than responding. Okay, what I might do is just stop sharing. Okay. So once we've got this new awareness, that is the treasure. So lots of people may think, I'm having negative thoughts, and really, really judge and criticize themselves for having those. And this is a new way of thinking of this awareness of these thoughts. They really are a treasure, because now we are aware of the thought pattern or the belief system or the negative belief or thoughts running through our minds. They're not subconscious anymore. We've brought them into our consciousness. We can do something about it, and we can look a little deeper. So with what you've written down, ask yourself, how does this belief make me feel? And do I want to continue feeling like this? Is this belief even true? Quite often when we're younger and growing up and being around either work colleagues or family members or in our communities, we can take on a belief that's not even ours, but we've just taken it on as true. So is it even your belief? And what's the impact of living with that belief? Is it keeping you small, stopping you from sharing your light, stopping you from taking positive action? Just take a moment to reflect on those questions and see if you can get some answers there. So once we've reflected on our limiting beliefs that we've been made aware of, we then have a new choice. What's next? What is the new way of being and thinking and feeling or believing and behaving that we want to cultivate? What do we want to create? I think sometimes we focus on what we don't want, and we don't really think about what we do want. So what do we want to create? What feelings do we want to create and cultivate in our life? And sometimes when we think about what we want in life, there can be some resistance that comes up with that new awareness. So that is worth making a note of as well. So you may think, I want to eat more healthily, but then that resistance comes up straight away that says, but that means I can't have anything good in my life, like my treats that I like to have. So there may be some resistance of excuses of why you can't do the new thought pattern that you want to create. So just listen out for that resistance that's coming up. if you get this new awareness of what your new choice is going to be. And asking yourself how you want to feel. How do you want your thoughts to make you feel? You know, this work I've been doing, I've been living this work for 7 years. And it becomes a cycle of uncovering limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns and neutralizing them, and then replacing them with more nourishing, loving, positive thoughts that make me feel good. That really is. So it's a journey, okay? Once you build in this awareness, this time to listen to your inner dialogue and become aware of these limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns, you then can do something about it. And it's about literally being gentle, kind, and patient with yourself as you do this, as you go through this process in uncovering the limiting beliefs. Or you may react in a certain way and go, oh, that's interesting. Why have I reacted in that way? And you can explore it, because we can't control what's going on outside. We can only control how we respond to it. Okay. So I think that's a really important thing to really explore. What do we want to create next? So I created a new affirmation for myself, and this took me about 3 days to really remember to say it. So as soon as I woke up, you know, I used to wake up in panic mode, or how am I going to get through today? It was really quite negative. I created a new affirmation as soon as I woke up. So just as you're waking up, if you can just notice you're waking up and then say to yourself something along the lines of, this is what I did. I set the intention to create a great day. That's all I said. I said it for 3 consecutive mornings running, and then I didn't have to think about it again. It just naturally came to me. So I'd created that new thought pattern, or thinking something. I set the intention to create a great day. I mean, I can't have a negative thought that follows that. So another one I really liked was, I trust the process of life to take care of me. That really helped calm down any anxiousness I had about my life or the world. I trust the process of life to take care of me. All is well, I am safe is one of Louise Hay's signature affirmations. If we say all is well, I am safe, all is well in the world. And this brings up for me that people may say, but it's not all okay in the world. But we see what we are shown. And a lot is going on in the world. I don't actually see much of it, because I focus my attention on what I do want to see. That doesn't mean I'm burying my head in the sand or head in the clouds. I'm just choosing what my life experience is going to be, not what I'm told it should be. Okay. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. When we have a negative thought, we can just say that. I say that a lot. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. So I'll think something different, come up with a new thought. And with some of my coaching clients, this one's been a really good one. I'm adequate for all situations. That's a really good one. If there's any nervousness in life or work or whatever, and whatever happens, I'll handle it. That's another really powerful affirmation. Actually used that when my son started secondary school in September, and used it with some other friends of his that or other people in his year group who were quite anxious about going into secondary school. And I shared that affirmation, whatever happens, I'll handle it. And it gives you that confidence that whatever happens, you'll be able to deal with it. Because guess what? You will. You can worry about what's going to happen, but actually if you say, which you're making up, it's just a thought, what's going to happen. But if you say, whatever happens, I'll handle it, I can cope with it, you will. Okay, so we're going to come around now to doing some affirmations. So take a look at what you've written in your notebooks, and see if you can write a positive statement that you could think or say to yourself to neutralize the negative thoughts that you've identified in the visualization or anything that's come up while I've been sharing. If this is a challenge, because it really was for me in the beginning, because it takes practice, it takes that momentum and consistency, then try writing the opposite of what the negative awareness is that you've written down. Just try writing the opposite of that and just seeing how that feels. And then we're going to try and create 3 positive affirmations that you can use throughout your day. So perhaps one you can use as soon as you wake up in the morning, or before you leave the house for the day, or before you go to sleep. And those affirmations are good to be positive, personal to you, and in the present tense. Okay, so I'll give you some starting points if you need some help with creating some affirmations. So these are just a handful. When I've done this workshop before, I've had a whole list of how you can start off a positive affirmation. But I think these are some really good ones to start with. I'm going to share some with you on the next slide, but just see if you can complete the sentence of those 6 little prompts. See if you can write something positive about yourself, about life, about the world, about your experience, and see if you can finish those affirmations. Or, like I say, even if you wanted to just look at what came up in the visualization negatively and rewrite that as a positive affirmation, and just see how that feels. Sometimes it may not feel true initially, right? And this isn't about speaking falsely. You're planting seeds of possibility. So if you can say, I deserve the best, or I have great ideas, or I am loved, or I'm creative, or I'm a genius, or I trust the process of life, or I believe in me. If you can say those, they're a really good starting point. Even just, I'm going to show you on the next slide, saying these affirmations will move you forward in thinking and being open and receptive to believing them for yourself. They're very simple, but it takes, like I say, consistency and momentum. And that's why I'm creating these workshops, because I'm going to start running them on a regular basis where we come together and new things will come up. I'm starting a new program on the 23rd of February. And I'm going to be creating Zooms like this, where we look at Louise Hay's 12 Ways to Love Yourself. And we're looking at 1 a month, and we will explore one of those principles. And we will look at, first one, for example, is stop all criticism. And we'll look at criticism, judgment, where we criticize ourselves or judge ourselves or the world or people, places and things. And we will work with that. We'll bring the awareness to the surface, and we will write some affirmations to neutralize those, some new ways of thinking. So, like I said, it becomes this constant uncovering of limiting beliefs, negative thought patterns that we can neutralize when we bring them into our consciousness and reprogram ourselves to think of something different, think of something that feels good. It's all about feeling good. Okay, so here are some of my favourites. I'm doing the best I can. I am unique. I'm creative. I'm a genius. I'm determined. I'm grateful for life. I'm always learning. I'm beautiful as I am. I am resourceful. I'm a good friend. I believe in me. I deserve the best. I trust the process of life. I have great ideas and I love myself. Now, most of these I actually put on my children's affirmation card deck. So these are great for kids, but this is a really good starting point for all of us. And it's really good to be reminded of it, because that I am genius one in the middle there, I did not feel like a genius growing up. And now I have genius ideas. I am so creative. We're all unique, so there's no need for comparison between ourselves and other people. We're always doing the best we can. I'm grateful for life and for another day and all the lessons here I'm here to learn. I'm beautiful as I am. I'm unique, and we all are. I'm resourceful, because when I'm in that good feeling place, I am resourceful. Whereas if we are not in that feeling good place, we almost cut off our brain from our intuition, our intelligence, our wisdom. But when we're connected to it, we easily find the answers. I'm a good friend. I believe in me. I deserve the best. We all deserve the best. And I trust the process of life. It's not always what we want to experience, but I'm trusting the process of life. And there's no point in resisting it, because, again, we can't control it. I have great ideas. I have so many great ideas these days. It just feels amazing. It's just executing on all of them. And of course, I can say now, I love myself. It was very difficult in the beginning. It felt, that whole self-love thing felt very indulgent, very, oh, look at her, she loves herself. It's that sort of vanity thing that I connected with when I first heard that. I felt it was a bit self-indulgent, but actually now I do love myself. I take care of myself, and I do what's right for me, and everyone benefits as a result of that. So make a note of some of those if any of those feel really good for you. And also, if you've written some down, I would love to hear your affirmations that you may have come up with. And feel free to use any of mine. I'd just love to see in the chat one of those affirmations, or three if you can think of three, that you are going to try. You're going to try on and see how it feels. I'd love to hear and see what you're popping in the chat. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to share with you, which I've actually already just shared some bits and pieces, but I'm looking to, I am doing a Reflect and Connect session once a month online via Zoom. So you're the first to know about it. It's going to be on Mondays, 12:30 to 1:30, because again, people can do it in their lunch break. They'll be recorded like this one, so you can watch it back. And each month, what I wanted to create, because it's so crazy busy outside in the world and lots going on, I wanted to bring this moment just for you, where we take a chance to slow down, reflect, do some grounding breathing, deepen our awareness, our practice of awareness. And by exploring one of Louise Hay's 12 Ways to Love Yourself principles each month, we create that time and space for ourselves to implement our practices to bring that new awareness to the surface, and then implement our new tools and affirmations into our daily lives. And by doing that, we're building consistency and momentum. So it's monthly, so it's not too much. People can show up once a month and then use what they've learned and taken away throughout that month. I figured if it was weekly, it might be too much for people to take on top of their agendas, their life agendas. You'll be supported by myself and sharing the journey with like-minded people. And all you need is a quiet space where you're not going to be distracted, your notebook and pen, and an open mind and willingness to make positive change in your life. So that's the first programme. I will be starting on the 23rd of Feb. The next date after that is the 16th of March, and then the 20th of April. And I'm creating Eventbrite events for those as well, so you can register for the ones that suit you. And then for those who want to really immerse themselves in this work a little bit deeper, I'm doing a 6-week online program starting on the 15th of April, and it's on a Wednesday evening, 6:30 till 8, every Wednesday to the 20th of May. And this is such a powerful program, and I love it because we come together once a week for an hour and a half of group coaching, and then in between our weekly sessions there are 5 modules to complete in between our weekly sessions, and they are literally 15-20 minute exercises. There's Louise Hay sharing, there's a video on there. There's Patricia Crane, Louise Hay and Patricia Crane created the Heal Your Life program, and I was trained by Patricia Crane. And so she's got some visualizations and meditations on there. There's journaling prompts, there's meditation music. It's all in one place, and it's really powerful. So if you want to deep dive into that for 6 weeks, we come together on the last week to conclude. You'll have access to the online portal for 6 months, so you can repeat the exercises as many times as you like. And again, all you'll need is a notebook and pen, and that real open mind and willingness to make positive change in your life, because it really, really is possible. So with that, I would like to say thank you so much for joining. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. It's a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but I hope you've created some great affirmations and you can apply them in your daily life. And for any other information, or if you'd like to join me on one of the next programs, then please do get in touch. Okay.